Hello, everybody. Now we're on to the next holiday of the new year, which is a lover's holiday for Valentine's Day. So I am at the Goodwill and I'm looking for some things that I can incorporate with my Galentine's Day party that I'm going to be having, and I'll bring that to you. Want to do a few DIYs with hopefully some things that I find. So let's go on in and let's see what we can find. Hi everybody, welcome back. So I have brought all of my goodies in for my thrifting haul, and now I'm going to go ahead and start doing my quick and easy DIYs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this board and turn it into a wall hanging. And so this is what I picked up when I thrifted. It had some lettering on it. I did like the color. It was a little pink, but as soon as I put another pink color up next to it, then it started to look a little bit orange. So to counter that, I just got a can of spray paint and just gave it a nice thin gloss over it. And I am ready to go ahead and add this foam heart DIY that I did last year. Now this is a Dollar Tree foam heart, and I covered it with Dollar Tree roses. And so that was a quick and easy project for last year. But what I want to do is I want to still use the things that I had last year and transform them into something else. Saving my money, making something different, reusing and repurpose. You know, that's what my channel is about. So I'm glad that you are here. Now what I'm going to do is just center this in here. Take it over to this so I can get it right on center. But before I start gluing the heart down, I want to show you something real quick little tip. I went into my jewelry box and I found some jewelry that I wasn't using anymore. And so I just broke it apart and came up with 3 different strands, and I braided those together because I want this heart to look like a charm when it's hanging on this canvas. And to add this to the heart, I'm just going to use one of my pins, my U pins. Stand that up straight. Fold this in half to right about here. Take my pin and just push my pin all the way down in there. So that shows you what it looks like while it's down in there. I'm just lining the chain up so it's even. And I'm going to take my glue gun and just put a little dab of glue down in there so that it'll stay. Now I'm going to set this aside and give it a few minutes so it'll dry and harden up on it. And I'm ready to glue down my DIY that I did from last year with my heart-shaped roses. And I've got it set to where I can have it centered. And I've got my chains right there. And to help me keep everything in place, I'm going to start by just adding a little bit of glue to the chains that are hanging on the back. And now I can lift this up and add my hot glue on this side. I'm being pretty generous with it because I want this to stay. And this is how it turns out. I added roses to the top to hide the mechanics, and then I added roses on the bottom. Now let's move on to the next project. So I'm going to make a pillow out of this blanket that I thrifted. Nice, soft, fuzzy blanket. A lot of texture on there. So what I'm going to do now is put it together, and what I want to do is to add a seam at the bottom of it so that it will have that same type of seam going around all four parts of the blanket. And to do that for this first step, I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to add that one seam. And then once I'm done adding this seam, we're going to go back over to my work table, and I am going to use the iron method to seal everything else up for this pillow. And so now it's just a matter of lining everything up and putting a strip of the no-sew adhesive in there, and you can get that from your local fabric store. It's very easy to work with. I did a video during the Christmas holiday where I made some placemats for my holiday table, and you can take a look at that video to show you how I did it in more detail, but just very easy to do. Now, after sealing up the sides, I'm going to put in some of this snow backing in there. I also got that from a local craft store, easy to find. And so I'm just going to fit that down in there. And then once I get it in there the way I want it, then I'm going to come back again to that opening with some more of the no-sew technique in there and glue it together. And it does create a very good bond on this. You could use it for hems. You could use it for just quick tacking things down, somewhat like what I'm doing here. Very quick and easy. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got that angle in there, that I've got it placed down in there correctly. And then I'm going to fold that material over, and then I'm going to finish up with the iron. This is what the pillow looks like once I have everything together. Now the next thing I want to do is to create the bow with this pillow, and I'm just going to use that with some ribbon that I have on hand, a real pretty sheer wire-based ribbon, and I'm just going to center that so that I can make sure I get it in the middle as much as possible. And then I'm just going to tie that ribbon around there and just keep tying it. Make sure that I have enough to go around it several different times and tying it to make sure that everything stays in place for this part of the project. Now that I have everything tied up nice and secure, I'm going to go ahead and clip off just those end pieces there. And then the next step is to add just a little bit of decoration right in the middle. And I'm going to use one of the pink roses that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to add that to the middle, one on each side. So either side that this pillow is displayed, you'll be able to see the pink rose in the middle. And that's the last step for this project. I think it turned out very nice. A quick and easy pillow from a thrifted blanket. And next we're going to add fresh florals to this glassware that I thrifted. The fresh country roses are from my local grocery store. I cut them at an angle real short, and I'm just layering them into the glassware. It only takes about 5 or 6 roses for this, and then I add that one that is right up on top, and we are done. 3 DIYs from 3 thrifted items for my Galentine's Day party. I hope this gives you some inspiration as you're decorating for Valentine's Day. Please come back to my channel and see how I styled these for my Galentine's Day party. And like and subscribe, and whatever you do and wherever you go, be blessed.